Our next movie is named Friday the 13th, Part 5. And why was I so lucky that I got to review this movie instead of you?
I'll get my chance.
I don't know. I guess the big dice up in the sky rolled and said Friday the 13th, Part 5. For Roger, this movie is subtitled A New Beginning. That's because Part 4 was called The Final Chapter, and they didn't think that Part 5 would sound real good if they called it The First Epilogue, I guess. But actually, this movie is just more leftover recycled garbage from the last 4 times around. It uses the same basic old formula, the formula I call the dead teenager formula. You know, where there are a lot of living teenagers at the beginning of the movie, and by the end of the movie, all of the teenagers are dead. They are apparently all being killed by Jason, the guy in the hockey mask, who has been slicing and dicing teenagers with a machete for 5 movies now. And the formula is always the same. Jason is out there in the wind and the rain, and there are dead bodies all over the house, and everybody is screaming, and their clothes are ripped off their backs, and there's blood all over. And so, of course, more teenagers think it over and decide that what they've got to do now at this moment of crisis is walk out in the forest by themselves. Jason is out there. There are dead bodies everywhere. Let's go skinny dipping. Right. The producers of Friday the 13th, Part 5 have decided not to supply any scenes from the movie for reviews on television. And I wonder why not, or maybe I don't wonder why not.
No, you know
why
not.
Maybe I'm happy that we don't have to look at any scenes from this movie again. But what we do have are the coming attraction trailers from the film, and this is as close as I hope you get to this movie.
If the memory of Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Gee, it's really amazing how that hockey mask has stood up under the wear and tear of the last 4 pictures, you know. Only a few scars. It's been burned, it's been sliced, it's been crushed.
Well, you know,
and how does a guy like that go into a store and buy a new hockey mask?
Okay.
I mean, what do you think he looks like underneath the mask?
I know exactly what. I'd love to give away the ending of this picture. I'm debating on doing that.
I don't think you better do that.
Why don't you finish your review, and then maybe I'll reveal
the funny thing is, there's nothing in that coming attraction trailer to indicate that Part 5 is in any way different whatsoever from the 4 other earlier Friday the 13th movies. And for that matter, there's nothing in this movie either that's any different from the first 4, really. Not basically. But Part 5 has done very well at the box office, presumably because the teenagers who go to these movies know that there is absolutely no danger that they're going to be required to think or imagine or experience delight or joy or self-discovery. All they will have to do, all that's required of them, is to look at a lot of dead teenagers. And it occurs to me that teenagers going to a dead teenager movie are the equivalent of horses going to the glue factory.
You know, I also wonder what the kick is at a certain point. Yes, I know it's fun to be scared, and sometimes, I suppose, in this picture, you are scared. I was surprised by one jump, rebirth from the dead at the end. I'll give the film that much credit. But I'm wondering what the delight is of the skewering. There's an awful lot of body piercing in this film, and I don't know what that kick is there. How many times do you have to see a pole go through someone's chest? And what's the fun of that? I mean, gee, it goes all the way through? Or I didn't know that that's what it would look like if somebody got... I mean, what is that kick all about? I don't know.
It seems to me that when I sit and I have to see these movies with audiences, needless to say, they don't have critic screens, everybody goes, wah, you know, like it's just like it's kind of half a second of stimulation. Something happened, and I witnessed it, and that's what they get out of it. At the end of the movie, though, nothing accumulates. You're not left with anything at the end of the movie.
All right, there is the theory, you know, you guys are knocking this stuff, but don't you stop for traffic accidents? Don't you slow down? Maybe I slow down a little bit, you know, but I don't get out of my car, go over and look at the body cavity and see where the head's been ripped off. And that's the difference in the film. There is a real salivating over the garbage in this picture.
I mean, Gene, art all through the years, and we could talk about all of these sequels probably in this term, art all through the years has dealt with the violent and with the vulgar and with the profane as part of human experience.
As part of it.
What is unique about this film is that they have taken out all the other parts of human experience and left only this in, so it becomes a very dismaying and very depressing experience to sit through.
I just want to say that what I'm impressed by are now, more than ever before, when I think about all these sequels, I'm very serious here, I'm impressed by all the directors who've said no. It's so easy to say yes. It's so easy to take the money and run and hide. behind a mask, if you will, or it was just fun, I did the sequel, what the heck, I needed a few bucks. I want to thank all the directors who said, I won't do it.
And
I have too much self-respect, I'm not going to do another one.
Let's go just one more level, and then maybe this can be the end of it, and that is the people who made the first movie in each one of these series, it seems to me, at least had something going for it. The person who made the first Friday the 13th movie, the first Porky's. These movies we didn't like so much, we didn't think they were so great. Somebody had a new idea, at least. And they made that movie, and then after that...
And it was a bad idea.
And it was a bad idea, but at least it was their idea.
So
and it was
somebody now has a bad idea.
Somebody had to think, and now nobody has had to think ever since.
Right.